that the Most High, the Most High determined the days of those kingdoms, man. All right? He determined how long they were ruled. Okay? The concept is the very exact same way to this day in America. All right? And all throughout the earth, wherever the so-called white man rules. All right? They're going to be brought down. All right? America is going down. All right? Russia is going to be hit with missiles. Iran is going to be hit with missiles. Okay? Japan is going to be hit with missiles. France, Germany. All right? Wherever the so-called white man rules, it's going to be desolate, man. All right? Mainly here in America, it's going to be made a total wilderness.
They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
Right, they that see these so-called white people ruling, they're up there here. In the UN, they're up here. You know, they got all these governments set up, these unions, the European Union set up. They see this so-called white man in power. But they ain't gonna see him in power for much too long. Alright? You got wars and rumors of wars brewing up. The Iranians are coming up. The Chinese are mad as hell. All these other nations are mad. And they what? They're pointing their anger and they blaming it on the so-called white man. So it's soon to become the brink of a thermonuclear fallout. And that's going to mark the end of the so-called white man's rule. All right? Yeah.
He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eyes also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him.
Yeah, that's right, because Most High said he's against you, Edom. Get that in Jeremiah 51.
This is Job 18 and 17. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the streets. Job 18 and 17. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the streets. He shall be driven from light into darkness.
You know why the scriptures say his remembrance is going to be put out? Because after the so-called white man's judgment comes, after the thermonuclear smoke clears on America and wherever throughout the world they hit on the so-called white man's rulership, they're going into slavery. All right? So their remembrance as being the top elite on the earth is going to be wiped out. All right? The elite banking families, they're going to be the first fruits of slavery. All right? And throughout the duration of 1,000 years after the Lord's return, all right, whom you English call Jesus Christ, all right, and the nation of Israel, the kingdom of Israel is set up on the earth. After 1,000 years go by in the kingdom of the Most High and His saints, these so-called white people, all right, which are Edomites, they're going to be gathered up. They're going to be gathered up after 1,000 years. They're going to be exterminated. That's how the remembrance of the so-called white man is going to be ceased from the earth.
Ezekiel 39 and 14. And they shall sever out men of continual employment.
That's slavery. Because you go into that word employ, it means to be a slave. Alright? If you're an employee, guess what? You're a slave to the international banking families. That's why you have a Social Security card. Alright? That's why you have a birth certificate. Alright? You are a capitis diminutius. Alright? Which is capital letters. Meaning that your names are all caps, meaning that you are property. You are property of the elite banking family. But then what? When these elite banking families are taken out of power, alright? The Most High is going to have them into slavery. Them having employment. them being slaves. So the nation of Israel is going to sever out the slaves in the kingdom of heaven. That's us. Continual employment. There ain't going to be no unemployment in the kingdom of heaven. You so-called white people going to always have a job to do. And that's talking about you other nations too. Read on.
It says, and they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it.
Right, meaning that after the thermonuclear smoke clears from whatever on the earth they hit outside of America, those nations are going to be gathered together. All right, gathered together for the purpose of Israel for slavery. Okay? Go ahead.
After the end of 7 months shall they search.
Okay. After a complete number of months, however long it's going to take for all these nations to be gathered together and to be put into slavery under Israel, that's where they're going to be serving. They're going to be serving us. All right, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans of the nation of Israel, all right, in the kingdom of heaven. Okay? Get Jeremiah 50 and 29.
Jeremiah 50 and 29. Call together the archers against Babylon.
The archers are all these superpowers that wield or we have possession of thermonuclear fire, thermonuclear missiles. Okay? Right? That's who the archers are. Okay?
All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about.
Right. Iran is one of the archers. Japan, China. Okay? Afghanistan. You got numerous archers, all right, on this earth of the other nations that possess nuclear capability. All right, and then in the scriptures they call the archers together against Babylon. Okay? Against who? The so-called white man. Against America. Babylon is just a Hebrew word meaning confusion. America is the land of confusion. Go ahead.
Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she hath done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day.
Right, because you're going to have a lot of, American people, so to speak, you American sheeple, you're going to be drafted into the army, all right, to fight this Third World War. Because you don't got a lot of people nowadays, lining up at the local military recruitment center, all right, to join the damn army and to go over to and steal lands and resources, all right. So the so-called white man's going to have to come into a conclusion of drafting, all right, the American public into this Third World War. All right? But you're going to fall by this war. You're going to die. You're going to die over there in those lands. Wherever the so-called white man sends you, which they're going into Iran very soon, you're going to die over there. You ain't coming back in a body bag. All right? Good.
Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord power of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee.
That's the so-called white man. He's the most proud. Okay? The most proud. The so-called white people, the Most High is against you. Okay? That's why he's gathering all these other nations together to shoot missiles on your ass. Okay? That's why you're going to go out in a blaze of thermonuclear fire, pursuing the Malachi 4 and 1. Did you see which is the prophecy of the destruction of America.
And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up.
Right, the most proud is stumbling and falling right now. Look at the infrastructure of America. Okay? Look at the internet. You got all types of information, all types of exposing information out there on the so-called white man. It's causing him to stumble and fall because he can't hide his wickedness. He can't hide his plans no more. All right, the so-called Illuminati, all right, the demonic forces that the so-called white man uses, all right, to bewitch the minds of the people, ain't as strong as it used to be. Because now the Most High got the internet to where the men of the Lord through this Bible is waking up, all right, the remnant of the nation of Israel. And all types of information, all right, and secrets are coming out on the so-called white man. The infrastructure, the monetary system, everything is being brought out on a high level, showing you the downfall of the so-called white man. So the so-called white man right now, he's basically flat on his face. He's about to fall flat on his face. Go ahead.
And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
And that's the spirit, because it's going right back into earlier, okay? About how the children of Judah and the children of Israel, or Ephraim, were oppressed together. The Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. The Most High is about to destroy this so-called white man. All right? And that's why he got us out here. Because we telling you what's to come upon this so-called white man's kingdom. All right? Yeah.
This is Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
Right, and the Lord said he compared the destruction to a plague. All right, a plague spreads. All right, plagues spread on a very, very high level. They spread swiftly. So that's how this fire is going to be, because that's the plague that it's speaking about. When that warhead detonates, all right, off, and that fire proceeds out of that warhead, that fire is gonna be spreading rapidly throughout these cities, man. Okay, that's the plague, a thermonuclear fire. Okay?
Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet.
Right, like Sarah O'Connor, man. You people are gonna be living live in color Sarah O'Connors in that day. All right? You're going to be burnt alive. The Lord's going to keep the spirit in your body, man, just like he did to Sarah O'Connor. All right? You people are going to burn out here, man. Ain't going to be with a what you call it, fire, a bonfire type fire. But it's going to be with a nuclear fire. And these people right here,
we'll be all right.
These guys are going to burn.
What's that?
All right?
What's that?
Because guess what? America's going down, man.
You really believe that?
You about to go into a thermonuclear war. What he say?
He said they're going to be all right.
Oh, yeah?
You really think so? Not according to the Bible. The military is going down, man. All you so-called white people are going down, man. Your whole military structure is going down, and you white boys are going into slavery, man, according to the Bible. All right? That's why you can scurry your ass down the street, but you ain't going to escape those missiles, man.
Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Right. So with all the shit that you're talking, like that clown in a suit, all right, that Walking Dead person, all right, for the military, said he's going to be all right. Well, guess what? That tongue that you got in your mouth is going to melt away.
Ain't
right?
gonna be no more shit talking neither, man.
Exactly. No more shit talking. No more scoffing.
Right.
All right. Then your eyes, what you see, all right, your aspirations, that's going to be melted away. All right. And then, what is it? Your flesh, that's going to be melted away. That's right, just like Lot's wife, man.